What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the DS Asylum. I'm your warden, Dimitri Strine, and today I want to talk about Ultra units. Well, kinda. So I've been asked a few times ever since every YouTuber and their goddamn pet made a video about how Ultras will destroy Dragon Ball Legends. And people want my 2 cents on the matter. I already made a video about the future of Ultra units and what effect they're going to have on the game. I even gave my theory on what their exact pull rate will be, on what kind of banners they'll appear on. I literally made an entire video predicting the future of Ultra units. I don't know why I stuttered there. Yeah, I already made a video completely talking about that. So, to answer the question, do I think Ultra units are going to destroy the game? Well, that actually brings me into the topic of this video, and that solely depends on how much people care. How negatively Ultra units impact the game will be solely determined by how much the player base gives a shit about Summonable Ultras when they finally come into the game. So the thing about Ultra units, right? They're very flashy. However, with the release of Ultra Vegeta, about 70% of the hype that I had for Ultra units is just completely gone. Because half of Vegeta's animations are Goku's. They advertised that all Ultra units would have unique animations, and Toshi made a point of explaining how long it takes to make these things, but half of Vegeta's animations are shared by Goku. So if that's gonna end up being a trend, then Ultra units are nothing more than glorified Sparkings with slightly better stats. Well, or Legends Limited units without the actual LF. It's what a Legends Limited unit would be if you took that legendary finish away from them. This is what the Legends Limited without the legendary finish is. Just a normal fucking Sparking unit with better stats. That's it. And I guess they also have the Ultra ability. That does separate them from normal Sparkings, but at the end of the day, Ultra units are just glorified Sparking units with a different set of animations, but they all still share that same set. So I think if that trend continues, by the time we get a Summonable Ultra, which I predicted we'll either see by New Year's or Christmas, and if we don't see one then it'll be during the 4-year anniversary. Like, those are the only 2 times that you can properly introduce a Summonable Ultra. I don't think it's going to just be randomly released on some random fucking, day in what's a random ass month? Fucking August. I don't think it's going to be released in August. I don't think we're going to see any for fucking Valentine's Day. Like, that's just not going to happen. So those are the only 2 dates within the next year that I can see them doing Summonable Ultras. And if the trend of Ultra units having recycled animations continues, I don't think people are really going to give a shit about Ultra units. Yeah, they're good units, but if you combine the fact that, if you have one Ultra unit, you essentially have them all in terms of their animations, and the fact that they're not overwhelmingly more powerful than the rest of the units. If anything, they're still not number 1. They still get beaten out by Zenkais. Combined with their most likely abysmal pull rate, I don't really think people are going to care that much about Ultra units. And if people don't care about Ultra units, they're not going to negatively impact the game because no one's going to bother with them. Ultra units are going to become summonable, and the game is just going to continue on like they never became summonable to begin with. Very few people are really going to care. The only time people are going to care is when that one unit that they really, really like gets released. I don't know, maybe if like the first Ultra, the first Summonable Ultra is like a Gohan, everyone fucking loves Gohan. So, I mean, maybe that specific Ultra unit will, you know, rub people the wrong way because they want their precious Gohan. But for the most part, I don't really think people are going to care. Now, if they do actually, you know, stop being lazy with Ultras, and they start having their own unique animations and everything, then I could see there being a negative impact to the game, as people are going to want these, and the fact that they're going to be so hard to obtain is really going to piss people off. So honestly, it would actually benefit Bandai if they didn't really put any effort into Ultra units, because I feel like the more effort they put into Ultra units now, the more they're going to end up screwing their game over later. The less effort they put into it now, the smaller of an effect these units will have once they become summonable. And I don't know. I feel like the impact Ultra units are going to end up having on the game is solely dependent on the player base's attitude towards Ultra units once they become summonable. And right now, my attitude towards them, I'm not really that hyped for them anymore, because like just simply the fact that Vegeta shares so much as one animation. The only animation that I'm willing to accept being the same throughout all the Ultra units is the charge impact animation, because I'm willing to bet that's probably the hardest of all of them to change, because in order to change that animation for the Ultra unit, you have to also change it for every single unit in the game so that it interacts with the Ultra unit properly. So I'm okay with that specific animation being the same across all of them. Maybe that final kick at the end, like the actual hit itself, can be different. But in terms of, you know, all the effects that happen before you get knocked away, sure, that can stay the same. But if the next Ultra unit comes out and it's that whatever unit that is has the same charge and ki blast animations as Vegeta and Goku, I'm just probably gonna officially not give a shit about any future Ultras, regardless of how good they are. Because at the end of the day, the whole appeal of an Ultra unit is the animation. It's the aesthetic. You're not going to summon for Ultra units because of how good they are, right? You don't really summon for any unit because of the actual quality of units. That's what Zenkais are for. You summon for Zenkais because they're good. You summon for LFs because they're hype. And then you summon for normal Sparkings because they're good. That's just the order of things. If a normal Sparking can keep up with, you know, basic Zenkais at high stars, then you summon for a normal Sparking. LFs, you know they're not going to compete because you're only ever going to have them at 4 stars, so you're just chasing the hype. Ultra units are going to be the same thing as LF units. Once they become summonable, you're never going to have them at high stars, so you're just chasing hype and aesthetic. That's it. At least with normal Sparkings, you have a chance of getting them at higher stars. You can use multi-Z power in them. So if a unit looks good enough at a certain star count, you can, you know, summon for them. But for LFs and Ultras, it's going to be pure aesthetic. It's going to be pure hype that gets you to summon for them, not how actually good the unit is. So honestly, at the end of the day, as I said, it's all going to be determined by the attitude of the player base and how much effort Bandai intends to actually put in to these Ultra units in the future. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed, do make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit that join button if you can, it really does help the channel out. All the links you could ever want are in the description down below, and I will see all of you inmates back here at the asylum for the next video. Peace.